Well. Ladies and gentlemen, it should be a blast. We've got some fun for you. We've got a lot to do, but tomorrow, of course, action returning for Rising Star, but for MCS, it's another one of those weeks where we're having some fun. It's Quick and Stewie back at you with another surprise overtime, I guess you could say. We didn't plan on it at the beginning, but we got to grinding, and here we are.
I'm ready, Stewie. I'm so excited to talk about this. I really thought we were going to have to go another week without an overtime, so really glad we could throw this together. There is a lot to talk about already. I mean, we're only 3 weeks in, or we're coming up on the 3rd week here, and so much has happened. Some unexpected stuff, some slightly expected stuff. This season's been a real treat already.
Indeed. I'm excited to see what we get from the rest of it, but taking a look at just the format, I showed it for a second. We're in that 3rd week, so we're at the height of some of the doubleheaders, but a lot of people don't know this actually, but because we are we don't have 16 teams in every single league, Quick, there are days on Saturdays where Challenger or when certain premier teams have doubleheaders and some don't. So Challenger and Rising Star have doubleheaders every single week, but there are some premier teams that don't have doubleheaders. For example, my team is one of them. This upcoming Saturday, I believe we only play one match. So but that's something to think about. But we're at the height of our league play, and we're building up towards that major. Should be a blast. Tonight we've got some overtime for you, and I love overtime because overtime is where we can do whatever the heck we want. And
this is our show.
You guys are gonna get access to some new stuff that we have never done before. We've never done an immaculate grid. I put a couple together. We've never done more immaculate grids. No, we're coming back with a season recap, and that'll tie into our storylines. Only 2 storylines for you guys this week. I'll have more, I promise, in the upcoming ones. But Quick. I mean, I'm excited to just get into this immaculate grid.
Absolutely.
It should be a blast.
Absolutely. I'm seeing a couple names in the chat. I mean, we got Prussia, Wesley, and Forrest here. Those guys are going to have some pretty...
You guys are going to have fun with this.
Definitely going to need some help on the immaculate grid. 100%. It goes all 100%. The way back. It's going to be... It is...
To preface this, if you guys don't know how... I'll just pull it up on the screen. Here's the first grid. If you don't know how immaculate grids work, essentially you have to fulfill the requirements of each spot on the grid. So for example, you see on the top left, you see the Bloomington Maulers and the Hibbing Rangers. You have to fulfill a player that has played for the Rangers and the Maulers in some season. It doesn't matter when. Quick and I have access to the record books and also any previous season sheet that we have accessed in the past, all the way back to season 5. So I'm going to I forgot to pull those up, but I'm going to pull up the season 7 and 6 sheet.
Repeat answers, which is something that's kind of interesting because we have a lot of repeat names that are on these lists here. So
cannot repeat answers.
Definitely are going to have to.
They must fulfill the requirements. We will double check everything that we guess. Feel free, if you have an answer in chat, throw it in there. I do not care. You can put whatever you feel like is correct.
We're gonna be fact checking.
We will be double checking stats as much as we possibly can, and also double checking anything. But we can go to any part of the grid we want, and we'll just start with this first one.
Yeah,
let's change any spot. We'll just go to first off, the top right is... I got an answer for the top right. The top right...
I think there's a few.
Do they have to be on both franchises in one season? No, just ever on both. I have an answer for the top right. That is not Volt. That is Aostein, actually.
No.
AO was a LAN champion. Has won LAN before, and has also played for the Maulers in season 5.
Yeah, I was thinking, I don't know if we want to use, like, Volt is somebody who's been around for a while that's done a lot of stuff, but I don't think he's been on many of these franchises. I don't think he's been on any of them.
This is any league.
I think Volt would be the play here for
any league you want. any player that has competed in MCS will fulfill a requirement here.
Yeah, I think we go with Volt on this one just because I know that he played season 5.
He didn't win LAN though. He hasn't won LAN.
Oh, you're right. This is just winners. Sorry.
So hold on, quick. We got to get on the same page here. So
we
I
are.
went to the top right first.
Let's
go to the top left. So if you have an answer for Maulers and Rangers, I don't know I don't know a Maulers or Rangers answer.
What? Wait. Did Wolf? Wolf started on the Maulers and then he moved over.
He did, but he didn't go to the Maulers. Oh, you could say Ryu. Yeah, Ryu is an answer. Or you could also put T-Jack is an answer too. I believe he's played for Has he played for Bloomington?
T-Jack also is not a LAN champion. That's a...
Well, you don't have to fulfill the LAN champion part quick.
Well, but you can't reuse the answer. I want to make sure if if we have a player who jumped around a lot.
T-Jack is not a LAN champion, so we want a LAN champion spot. So did T-Jack play on Bloomington? Can anyone confirm that? I'm looking through sheets right now to figure it out, but I want to say he did.
He might be in the chat here. Ping him on Discord. Get him in here. Let me see it. Let me check the.
I know he played on Hibbing. He played on Hibbing last season.
He played on
season 6.
The old Senators squad. Yeah,
he was on Bloomington in season 6, so T-Jack does qualify for this. So we can put T-Jack there in the top left. T-Jack does work. Season 6, he was on Bloomington's Rising Star team. Season 7, he was on Hibbing's Rising Star team. Now,
yeah, all right, good.
Let's go to number 2. So
left to right.
Yes. So here's what I'm thinking. Hibbing or Bloomington and Rochester. Who has played for Bloomington and Rochester?
Rochester
has Ambrosia ever been on?
No, no, he isn't.
This is for Force has actually. I didn't think about that. Volt has as well, so Volt's an answer, but I don't want to use Volt here.
I think Volt's the easy one. Well, he fills an easy league champion, but A.O. Stein also fills that same spot, so I think it's safe to use Volt here, especially if we only go back to season 5, because he's got 2 seasons under Duluth, and they're not on here.
It's true, and there's other grids. There is other grids.
Yeah.
It is to answer.
Andy, I was just looking at K-Cash. Yeah.
You can't say you can't say me. I think he was adding me, but Wesley asked if this is current players only. No, this is anybody who has played and been on a franchise. They count. So if you want to say Pylocoid, you can. If you want to say Mexi, you can. If you want to say Piggies, you can.
Pylocoid, what a deep cut.
Wildcat, you can. We're just gonna put Volt here because Volt is on the Rochester Rhythm right now, and he was on the Mauler season 5. Love you, JT. Okay, this is gonna be a tough one. We're gonna go to spot 4, which is Victory and Rangers. You could put Kai, but Kai's also 1. And we already used A.O. Stein for Bloomington.
How many Brainerd champions are there even? Let's take a look at that first. I guess let's start.
Well, quick. It's not just it's only who's ever been on Brainerd and has been a champion.
Oh, it's the people who have touched and Kai. Yeah, all right.
You got to remember that.
Stewie, why didn't you win last season?
Shut up. Kiro and Remzik season 7.
ATV, chill out.
Lumen Doty, Focus, Seer, and Flow. We can't do shoutcasting through this. This is the dumbest thing
I'm
ever.
already yelling. My neighbor's already upset. We're
Ryu, Sunny, and Shmorky. Has Shmorky won a? Didn't he? Sunny has. You could use Sunny here for land champion. For Brainerd.
For Brainerd?
Yeah.
For Brainerd?
DJ, CJ, Fishy, and Karn. You could also use Fishy.
Ooh, I think Fishy's a good one. He's a newer player,
Yeah,
right?
I
Last
agree.
season was his.
So we're gonna
Fishy's
put
the move.
Fishy in spot 6.
Yep.
He has been on the victory
Somebody
and been the
said
champion.
Brainerd, Hibbing, Ryu. I think that's a good one. Ryu, somebody. Oh, he's probably jumped around to a lot of teams. I wonder how many people.
Even Ambrosia's
had
another
jumped
good
around.
pick too. I get like a 1950s. You can't use Aostein twice. You can't use a player twice, unfortunately.
Yep.
So Fishy won last season with Bemidji, but he was on Brainerd Challenger season 6.
Yeah.
Season.
I think.
Okay, so this one's gonna be tough. Rangers and Brainerd. You could say Ryu actually, because has Ryu been on the Rangers?
He was Rangers last season, I want to say. I'm pretty sure he has. I'm slowly pulling up all my old sheets here.
I am too.
Getting
Who
there.
has been on
Yes,
the
somebody said
victory?
earlier.
Perg, Goff, and Mexi. But Perg was on the Brainerd victory, but he wasn't on. You could have said Perg here
Kai
too.
was actually. Let's just use Kai. We already got Fishy in that spot that we thought we were
Yeah,
gonna use
it's actually
Kai on.
yeah.
Midas. Yeah,
Let's put Kai here.
that's the move. Now
So
Rochester
Kai's on
and
this spot.
Brainerd.
This is gonna be a tough one.
Rochester's known for having
well,
solid.
You could say Remzik.
Did he last season?
Yeah, he was on.
Oh, that's right, because they completely shifted their whole premier squad last season, didn't they?
Ryotical did too. You
Ryotical,
could say Remzik.
yeah.
You could say Ryu too, because Ryu was on the first. Ryu was
There's another
on.
Ryu.
Ryu was on Brainerd in season 6 and was also on. He was on the Rochester team before they added Burf last season. So you can put Ryu here.
He's Challenger, yeah. That's right. I like Remzik. I think Remzik's a solid one. He's one that's been recent in the last couple of days, and he's not going to fulfill any of Burnsville. I'm really glad we left this one for the bottom.
Yeah, because, well, I don't think Ryu's ever been on Burnsville, has he? Let me look at the record book.
Not since season 6. I don't think he was in season 5 either.
You could technically say Thermal here if you wanted to. So we are on the bottom left slot, which is Burnsville and Hibbing. We're trying to find a player for that.
Hibbing.
You could put the Thermal, but he changed his name a bunch of times. But he did play on Burnsville's affiliates franchise in season 3.
People are saying Keen in chat. Yeah, Andy, Midas.
Yeah, Kins has too.
He did. I think that Kins is going to be the one to go with. The last couple seasons we haven't had.
Yeah, because Kins was on the rise. He was on Hibbing's Rising Star team in season 5, and was he on Burnsville at one point?
Must have been.
Yeah.
Good old Keens. I don't think he re-signed up for this
I
season.
don't think he did, but
that's the
we
name I saw.
can technically put him here.
Drafted to Burnsville. Okay.
He was drafted. Oh yeah, he was, and then they moved him. Oh, you guys are geniuses. He was. Then they moved him. I remember that.
All right, now we can use Midas.
We could
For
use
Burnsville, Rochester, and then, take your pick, chat. Who do you want for league champion for Burnsville? Do we want Wesley, or are we gonna throw Chicken up there?
Well, who else has been on Burnsville in the past?
That are league champions. How far back? It was.
Wesley.
Did North have? Yeah, was it? Who had Burnsville before I took over? Was it
Chicken,
North
Wesley,
Star?
Midas,
I think.
Wesley. Let me look. You could technically say
Champion.
Burnsville has only won once, right? Yeah, Burnsville hasn't.
Sure looks that way. That premier
Burnsville
win is the
hasn't.
only.
Yeah, it's the only premier win.
But having previous people
It
on.
literally has
as
to be
champion-
Wesley.
Oh, it has to be a win. Yeah, it has to be Wesley. Or it could be
it
Chicken.
could be
You can
Chicken
pick
because he's
Chicken.
played, but
We got Wesley in the chat. Throw it out there. Yeah, Midas.
Yeah.
But Chicken sucks. He went off to Kansas or whatever made up state he's off at now.
okay. There's our first grid. We've completed it.
Slightly painless.
slightly painless. And we kind of worked through that pretty fast, so
You know what? I like that we have a good mix of Rising Star up through Premier. Yeah, we like that. Definitely covered more. I think we're ready for the next one.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and clear the board, and we're gonna hop into the next grid, which looks like this. So there you go. There is our next grid. You have to fulfill the requirements. I kept Burnsville on the bottom left for annoyance because it's fun. But this is going to be a very, very tough, grid with the new teams on the top. It is going to be very difficult, but I know what we can point out right away. Spot 8.
Spot 8. All right. Loading.
Spot 8, you can put Lyric. Because he is on the derecho, and he was on the Burnsville Inferno last season.
He was. That's a good pick. I think he's the only player that fulfills that requirement. Des Moines has a lot of new players.
New players. Lyric, and Fluffy was on the... Oh! That's the player for number 2. Fluffy was on the Miracles last season. He was on the Miracles, now he's on the derecho. Let's go!
Good eye.
Dorka was not on the Miracles. Dorka was on... This is going to be tough. And now, guys, to preface this, I say 35 plus games. This is not series. This is total games played. So, you know, you go to game 5 in a series, it can be that too. So it's not a big deal, but they had to have played 35 plus for total. You could say DeCarlo there too, or you could put him in Mankato.
The top left, is that... Do we for sure have an answer to that one? Is there a player that's been on both the Chicago Jungle and the Minneapolis Miracles? I don't know if there is. Taking a look at since season 5, I don't think that there's any players that have crossed over on those two.
Let me look.
Of the season 5. I was the AGM for them that season, and I don't think that anybody on this list has crossed over onto...
1 second.
The new franchise.
I'm getting dizzy from this. Okay. We are sorry. We are on the top left right now. We need to work from left to right.
I think we put an X here. I'm pretty sure that nobody...
I think there is.
Think so? Grant or Jonah, maybe? I don't think Power was around back then.
No.
I don't know if he got... Gotta go through the transactions channel to make sure. Yeah, I don't think there is.
Riker and Dorka. Dorka hasn't been on the Miracles ever, has he?
And hasn't. Dorka hasn't. Nope. Well, Fudge, maybe back in...
I know Dorka's bounced around before, but I don't think he's ever been on the Miracles.
The last couple of seasons, he's been locked in on just a single team throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
And he was not on the Miracles for 6, 7, or 8. So...
And Riker hasn't. Well, there's a chance, but...
I think so. Put next there. Anybody in chat, if you haven't come across that one. But... You know, I think DeCarlo is a pretty safe one for 35 plus games challenger, Stewie. Okay. Moving across the board.
We're on the top right. Yep, we are on the top right.
Yeah.
You could also put Wolf here as well.
You could. He did. Wolf he had a couple of
So, well, do we want to use him though for Des Moines?
Does Wolf count for Minneapolis if it was season 3?
Well, it was season 6.
Well, no, season 3 he played at LAN.
I have more than 35 Chal games. Yes, so I could count here actually too.
Oh, under Minneapolis you did too. I think we do. You didn't play on any of these other franchises.
It's true. I've only ever played on Minneapolis, Bloomington, Hibbing, and now Brainerd and Bemidji actually.
All right. Chicago, Atlas. It would be dumb if we put somebody else here, I think. Unless Riker never played Challenger. So
Yeah, and there's only Stratus played on Mankato last season. But has Riker, that's the thing. I don't want to burn Riker because has he bounced around on teams? Like he's been on, I know he's been on Bloomington. I know he's been on Mankato. He was on, what was he season, what was he season 5?
Bloomington. I'm trying to find that sheet. I think it's got a weird name.
What was he season 5?
Oh, here we go. Okay. Riker
Can you send that to me?
On season 5. Yeah,
Oh, wait, I actually have it.
He was on Minnetonka. He was the captain for Minnetonka.
I was going to say, I wanted to say he was on a different franchise.
Atlas Chow games to be toast. That's a good point. Yeah.
you actually could put Atlas. You could put. Screw it, we're doing that.
I think that's the only one that toast goes in at this point. I think we got.
I think we put toast there.
Riker for the Atlas jungle.
We still haven't figured out that top left. I'm going to put.
I don't think there is.
I think there is. I just. We'd have to look way back.
Yeah, 5 through 7 or 5 through 8. It hasn't happened.
5 through 8, we haven't found it. Season 4. If somebody has season 4 sheet and could pass it along to us, that would be great. But I don't have an answer for that at the moment. I mean, Dorka's been on the Inferno, so you can put Dorka bottom left.
Yeah, let's throw Dorka on that one.
Well, and we got the Inferno season 6 or season 5.
Get Riker in 4, and then let's get Dorka in. Is that 7? 6?
Okay, so
6.
We are on the middle left for this one, so we can do Riker here.
Yup.
You could put Stratus there, but I kind of want to Des Moines and Mankato.
I think Stratus. Des
Moines, Mankato. Is there an answer to this?
What's Des Moines got right now?
Has Brock ever been on Mankato? I don't know if there's an answer to this too. Crap. That's on me, but regardless.
Current.
It's Lyric, Avamus, and Flo. Has Flo ever been on the Atlas? I don't think so. Fluffy, I know, has
Rhythm before.
Yeah, he was on the Rhythm last season.
They have a lot of new Gerg.
We were on the very center box.
Yeah, God, they've got a lot of Optimus. Who did he play for last season?
He wasn't. He's a rookie.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking of Obama has my car. My bad.
Flo. Has Flo played? Flo played season 7. I know that. He was on the Rhythm, right? In Rising Star. Or no, he was on the Victory.
Only ever been Victory and Derecho. Yeah, he's a rookie, so I think we have an X here too. This is just how it goes sometimes.
Mankato? I want to say Brock hasn't ever played for Mankato.
He had a couple of seasons with Minneapolis.
Toast and Goosey.
That was the season that he played up? No. Dang, Toast has been around for a while. I mean, going back to season 5, it hasn't happened.
I mean, yeah, this is the only... I can't find a player who's played for... See, it's tough to include the newer franchises because they haven't been around. They've only been around for a little bit, and most of them have new players on them. Like,
if you have season though, I mean, Wolf is on that squad. Like, they definitely have Wolf, Lyrics, and he's been around for a little bit. But I guess that's fair. That's 2 players.
Has Wolf been on? I don't know if he's ever played for Mankato. I don't think he ever has been traded to them.
He bounced around for season 6.
I mean, I know he's there from season 6. He was on Bloomington.
Yep, and then he went to Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, yeah. This is tough. We're trying to fill this middle spot, and I don't think we're going to do it.
I don't think we will. I
mean, I'm just like looking at past Mankato rosters, and
if you want to dig, bottom right, number 9. I mean,
those are probably
I know
Toast.
A bunch of different answers for that one. Raider, TKD, both of those guys.
I think Mambas fulfilled that too. Possibly Mimic. I think they played 35 games last season.
35 games. Well, not when you're sweeping everybody.
It's true.
Mamba's been around for a while. Mamba's definitely played 35 plus Challenger games. Well, he did have that season where Calster brought him up to Premier.
That's true.
Yeah, but he definitely fulfills. I think Raiders.
Everybody's like searching for like an answer right now, trying to find this Des Moines answer, but
Prussia, the stats god, doesn't think it's possible.
Prussia doesn't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible. I apologize for that, friends. I thought we could maybe dig into it a little bit, but we got the fun.
We learn together.
We learn together. Indeed. Okay, bottom right. We're slowly making a tic-tac-toe win here. Bottom right.
Yeah, you go
free
TKD.
Space times 2. There you
go.
go.
Raider. Down. Yeah, that one's.
You can go Trash to Carlo.
Trash to Carlo. Yeah.
You can.
There's a lot.
You can put DeCarlo here. Technically, you could put.
There's a lot.
You could put Burf here too. He was on Burnsville in Premier Season 4.
Etro would count for this one as well.
Yeah, let's put.
God, there's a lot. Torva, a newer player who.
You can put that there too. I'm gonna put Etro right here. That's our second grid. All right, we have got. Just to give everyone, we've got one more grid. I'm gonna go ahead and hide all of these.
Are we gonna do one more?
We're gonna do one more. Yeah, we got
gonna
one
grind
more.
through it.
We got our third grid coming up.
All right, we're going left to right this time though. We gotta have order and structure in this court.
Yeah, we gotta do that. But just filled out our one. Here's the next one. This is gonna be a little tougher because I only put one overall. This is going to require us to look into some stats. Prussia is going to have a field day with this, but you see 0.5 goals per game for their career. This is any league.
Yep.
Any league is possible. This is them playing in anything. What I'm going to do is look up.
I got the top left already, Stewie. I mean,
I'm going to look up player stats real quick.
Yeah, you could go ahead and pull that up. First off, Fargo, St. Paul, it's Kazan, it's Andy. I think that one's pretty obvious going from the GM last season as St. Paul to the GM this season as Fargo. That one's pretty easy. He's been around for 3 seasons now. Season 5 was his first one.
I know career goals per game. I know career goals per game. So top left, we are going to Taro fits this because actually the whole Challenger St. Paul team.
What did Taro fit as well?
I believe Taro played for the Senators at one point. He's played for every team, but we're gonna put Andy here. Kazan, congratulations, you made the grid. Then we're gonna go to grid number 2, which is the Barons. This is gonna be a little bit more difficult.
Oh, Barons. Papo? Did Papo play for the Barons?
Oh, I think I might have an answer.
Oh, yeah?
I gotta check it, though, just to see what roster he's on.
Papo is hitting season 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mal works for this. Because I'm pretty sure he was on...
Yep, season 7, he was on the Barons roster, right?
Indeed, yeah. I'm looking at it.
No, he was with Andy last
X-Ray
season?
Pink and Risser. Gator Melon, Brock Belt.
Those were all new guys.
Ringer, Perma, Latin, Evan. That's season 6. He's on the Barons. Fuego, Gatman, Dorica. Lubick, Nate, and Mamba. Cloudy, Tibbles, and Mal. Yep. Rising Star Barons, season 6. Mal was on that team. So Mal fits in that second spot because he is on the Steelhawks right now.
Nice.
Then we're going to go to career goals per game. I already have an answer for this. I looked this up. Papo's career goals per game is 0.71. out of every single game he's played.
Oh,
He's 129 goals from.
nice.
He's
one.
181 games. So, we'll go to that. You could also put Vanish. Vanish does qualify for this spot too.
I think we're gonna save him for a future one.
I think we're gonna save him for a future one because he was on the center. He was on the. Okay, I gotta shut up.
We gotta. All right.
Flyers,
Next square.
Senators. First thing I'm thinking, we are on the third one. First thing I'm thinking, or the second row, first one. The first thing I'm thinking is Bubbly Reaper fits here, because he's on the Flyers right now. He's on the Senators last season.
Straightforward, easy peasy. I'm doing some digging right now, seeing how I feel about. There's a lot. Some of you guys have been around forever.
See, Wesley, we want to put him there, but we also want to dig deeper too. Like if we find a cool player that's been on these 2 seasons, then like it would be cool.
I think Bubbly. I mean, come on.
There's no Senators right now. Minus Mystic and Pace for Premier. Kyler, Twilight, Deluxe Drew, that's a brand new team. Radical, Wasty, and Yeety. Radical's been on a lot of teams. Forest Skies, Bubbly Reaper. Dorka, Cole, and Kazan.
I'll be right back.
Owen, Slay Panther, Trish. Oaquin, Cloudy, and Titan. Owen, Trish, Zilmi. Obama has my car. Comics and Turning Ernie. Tar, Spooky, and French Strudel. Matt, Latumas, and Timmy. Wasty works also. Slay Panther also works. We're going to go with Mr. Bubbly Reaper. As he is the coolest I can find. Okay. Middle box. This one's a little tougher. Flyers and Barons. Flyers and Barons. Who played for the Barons? All right, we're just going to go back to Season 5. Smarky, Seer, Maleficent. Seer ever played for the Flyers? I don't think so.
I don't think so. He played for
Elephant,
Brainerd
Ryu,
Left.
Protex, and Goff. Did Goff ever play for... Did Ryu ever play? Ryu played for the Barons too? Jeez, it was Martha. The guy's
Green
been
Bay
on
Knights.
every single team.
They're the
Riker,
Green Bay
Gatman, and
Knights.
Bowie. Gatman works. No, he doesn't. Mako, Kai, Burf. Has Mako been on the Barons? Mal works again. That's true. Precious Caesar, Immortal. Wasty Blake and Slay Panther.
What is Caesar on this season? Who did Caesar go to? No, he's on the Atlas.
Atlas, yep.
Yep.
Vanish, Slip, and Prussia. But I want to use Vanish for another spot.
I think we use Vanish. I mean, we know where Vanish is going the next one.
Yeah. Wubik, Nate, and Mamba. I'm pretty sure Wubik said he's been
Immortal
on the...
works? That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, because Immortal was on the Barons when they won.
Oh, yeah, and he was on the Flyers. That's we got to go Immortal. That's a throwback. That's awesome.
Season 3 or 4.
Season 5 Challenger.
Immortal was on the Barons in Season 2. He was on the Barons with AO, Lucid, and Immortal.
Wesley, yeah. Was Lat ever a Flyer?
No, he was not.
No? Oh.
Not from what I've seen. Immortal does work here, so middle spot. 0.5 goals per game career. We all know who in the heck this is gonna be.
Yup.
If it's not true, you can look up the stats. The next one's gonna be a little bit tougher, but I actually have an answer for this.
Oh, already. We got Vanish. Yep. And then St. Paul and Duluth. I
already put Fours there because Fours works because he was on St. Paul last season and he's on Duluth this season. You could even like throw in maybe. Pretty sure Burf was a Senator at one point.
Burf a Senator?
No, he's an Inferno player. That's what I'm thinking of.
I'm looking at was Messiah ever on Duluth? Duluth have the same squad back to back. None of those guys are here.
Lou, Volt, and Ken.
Ledge?
Caden, Kine, Veltri. CTN, Wasty, and Paydirt. I remember that team. And Yuma, Oquin, and Cray Skull. Midas, Pope, and Slip. Midas would work here too.
Midas was on the Barons?
Yeah, Ledge was. Yep, Ledge was. Yeah.
Let's go. We got to go Ledge on this one. Midas already got some spotlight tonight.
Was Ledge on the Barons?
He's on the Barons this season. Well, Green Bay Knights. Green Bay Knights.
We've
He's on the
been on
Green Bay
Duluth
Knights.
3
This
times
is the
and played with
MCS.
Mamba and 8 season challenge. Yeah, it's true. Oh yeah, Ledge is right now. So you can put Ledge here, or you could put Wubik here. So I'm actually gonna put both of them.
Now, goals per game. I think Volt Destroyer is the obvious answer here, but
I think Caden fits this bill too.
does
Kai
Caden
even.
fit this bill? Is what I want to know. Is Caden
I actually want to know
also-
if Kai fits this bill. Kai does fit this.
Oh, does he?
Volt has 1 goal per game.
Does he? Is it exactly 1?
Yeah, it is. Kai's is 0.76. Kai does fit this bill too. We could put Volt here too.
Man, all those players and not a single champion. Does Marty? I'm curious. Does Marty fall under? I mean, probably not all time. No.
Curious as to what Forrest's stats are. Forrest is a 0.67.
Volt already got one last
Volt already
round.
has it, but Volt already got one last round. We kind of want to
I want to see
as many players as possible.
There's some. Man, yeah. What? How has Duluth had this many crazy premier rosters and not a single championship? I don't even. Slip? Does Slip have?
I mean, Midas was on the.
He was, but
Midas
I don't think
was
Midas
also on that
has.
team, but I don't think
Can Midas put
fits the
balls in
bill.
net? I don't know if Midas can put
Let me
balls
check
in
Slips. Slips does indeed count, so we can put
net.
Slip here
go. There we go.
too. We can put Slip here.
There you go. That was solid.
Most people have over. Yeah, that's true. I could have put 0.8. To be honest, I could have put a higher number, but I wanted options. Regardless. So we did all 3 grids. We weren't planning on it, but you go back to the OG schedule. Here we are. You got you guys to look through the grids. I hope that was fun for you. Maybe we'll do more grids next overtime, but now we've just got a season recap. And quick. We are going to be doing something very, very quickly. I gotta close all these tabs.
Yeah.
I have way too many tabs open from.
No, same. That was a
looking
lot.
through stuff, but we're just gonna go through some fun standings, and then they'll kind of tie into those storylines with what we want to do.
You know what, Stewie? Yeah, I really like the trip down memory lane that we had there. I hope that people in chat, whether you've been here for a while or if you're new here, I hope it was fun to come and see the history of some of these players that we have behind this league, because there are some guys that have been here for a long time and some guys who have only been here for a couple of seasons that have left just as big of impact. It's been just so exciting season to season, seeing how we change here for the MCS. But man, yeah, as far as this season goes, we've got some surprises. I think we've got some not so surprising news to touch on. And yeah, people in chat, I definitely hope you're ready for some hot takes here, because I called a couple of these things. You guys called me crazy, absolutely crazy during the preseason stream, and here we are. So, gonna see how that turns out.
I'm just setting something up real quick. Just so you guys can see what the stats look like and stuff. we're just gonna go through the standings, and then we'll give our thoughts on it. But we're gonna give some hot takes. But here are we'll just start from we'll go over the Rising Star standings first. Obviously there's 16 total teams for that, so I gotta fix this, of course, now. But regardless.
Yeah, Rising Star, a little more top, well, I guess a little less top heavy than the other teams. They have less teams with 0 points overall, but there's only one team that's been able to sweep so far this season. And I don't want to spoil it while you're working on the graphic there. But yeah, Rising Star has definitely been interesting this season. I think that...
All right, here we go. Here's what the Rising Star standings look like currently. I will say that there is some interesting things here. The one thing I will say is Hibbing being on top, not really a surprise to me. Not gonna lie. With their roster this season, I really just don't see as to how they aren't on top. If you look at their roster, they have Jack, OJ Kamo, and Hadron. And
crazy.
From what I've seen, Jack and OJ Kamo look very, very good. OJ Kamo especially. Chicago being up here is huge.
I mean, Chicago's not too terribly surprising. OJ Kamo has got the most goals per games, I believe. Is that what we were looking at earlier?
I think that's what we were looking at.
It's the most shots with the most goals. Looking at most shots, well, that's Mogi. That's not terribly surprising.
Let me look at look at the Rising Star stats real quick.
OJ Kamo's been doing very, very well, and I think that that's something to keep an eye on here for this squad. I believe he subbed up as well. So, I mean, Hibbing kind of trying to take full advantage.
He is leading the league in goals per game. He has a 1.75 shots per game.
Wow.
He also is atop the league. Shot percentage is Derek. Saves per game is Bladed Bay at 2.6. OJ Kamo is in second behind that. And assists per game is OJ Kamo as well. He leads the league in goals per game, shots per game, and assists per game. So shout out to OJ Kamo going absolutely insane. They also did have a forfeit. Yes, I can say that, but whatever. Regardless, Hibbing, frying. Fargo up here as well. The thing I'm noticing is there is 3 expansion franchises in the top 5. So
wow,
shout out to those guys picking their rosters, because they did a really good job. Nate, of course, with the Omaha Buffalo, the Steelhawks, having Andy, who's picked very well, and Riker with the Jungle, who've picked very well, all in the top 5. So shout out to those guys. They've been cooking. But regardless, you have got a lot of teams at 2-1. The only team that is 3-0 is the Hibbing Rangers. So yeah. I don't know, quick. That's pretty much all I got for Rising Star. The season 7 champs in 10th place right now. They don't have their same roster, but yeah.
Rising Star changes so much season to season, so to expect one franchise to kind of stay the same, we'll kind of see that as we move through this. Challenger, Premier, they've got some guys that have been around season to season that are sticking around in the same franchise, but Rising Star becomes such a melting pot, it's tough to tell. But yeah, nothing too surprising there. This Challenger side of things, I am ready to take a peek at here because...
So number one is the Steelhawks. Taro, Papo, and Andy. I can see why, because Taro's on an absolute tear right now.
He doesn't even play the game. This guy, he puts in hours every now and then, but it doesn't matter. If you put him in Challenger, if you put him in Premier, he wins. He has played 3 games in Challenger for Fargo. He has 1 Premier game under his belt that he also won. He has the highest match win numbers in the league
Taro's
right
on
now.
50 past 2. Okay, then he has hours. He's cooking. He's cooking this season. Oh man. Also
Kuro.
Kuro and St. Paul.
Kuro is tearing it up.
Is unbelievable. if you look at this, you look at the stats for this team. Kuro is leading the league in score per game at 512, goals per game. Leads the league. He's second in shots per game. Leads. Okay, that's slightly inflated. Regardless, he is up there in shot percentage as well. Saves per game.
A loss. What did they lose to?
Did they?
Fargo lost. Or not Fargo. Omaha?
Omaha.
We're talking about Omaha, right?
We're talking about. We were talking. No. Are they? Are they?
Kuro's Omaha. Yeah.
Yeah.
St. Paul is. Get her pulled up because these sheets are so condensed and easy to go through. St. Paul is. Oh, Kyler, Twilight, and Deluxe Drew. Twilight, Rumbo, Deluxe Drew. Somebody who came in new. Yeah, they've been playing really solid. Deluxe Drew has really surprised me. He is very, very solid. Really good ball control. I honestly enjoy getting to watch this guy play. But yeah, they've been playing super solid. And then right behind him is the Omaha Buffalo, who is Kuro, Rob, and Chips. Chips, a new player. Rob, somebody around last season, and Kuro, you all know him. They're cooking. Kuro, man, that guy just puts in hours. It is ridiculous. Whether he's good at the game, whether he's not good at the game,
he's averaging an assist
always
per game
putting in
too.
time.
So
yeah, they're playing really solid.
Give it to Omaha. Give it to St. Paul and Fargo, and Burnsville up here is really, really surprising.
Yes, sir.
Considering that you've got.
Hey,
you don't have Mamba. You have Mimic. You have Mimic, Avalanche, and Tizzy. They're doing well.
I got 2 first-round picks. Avalanche was a first-round pick.
That's right. Derecho beat them.
That's the only loss, though. We played a game with 2 subs last week, and we beat
Mimic a goat. Tizzy goat. That's right.
Yep. Tizzy
Brainerd
playing very
up here
solid.
at 2-1. I like to see that. AO, V15 and GB. Those guys are cooking as well. Rochester sitting at 6, returning champs, 2-1. St. Cloud, Prussia's team at 2-1. I don't know what happened to the whatchamacallit? What happened to Prussia's team? Who did they lose to?
Let me take a look.
Does Prussia know who's his one loss? Who's your one loss?
St. Paul. They lost 3-1 to St. Paul. So Kyler, Twilight, Deluxe Drew.
Okay, yeah. I guess that makes
Which that team, they're 3-0, so that's the team to lose to.
Bemidji at 0-3, Chicago at 0-3. Chicago, Bemidji did make a move. They recently, they say goodbye to Mamba, and they picked up an old friend in Calster. So welcome back to the league, Mr. Calster.
Did he get picked up?
Yep,
I didn't see that.
He's on Bemidji now with Schlonkers and Kazi K. That team is going to be good. I already know it.
Wow.
And Challenger, Stratus, Parker, and Power are currently winless. So scary. And also, Hibbing, they brought back their TKD and Mr. Knock, Thermal, whatever you want to say, Pixels guys. They brought them back. Has not worked out so far once again.
No.
So Lumberjacks, I think Wesley is correct in that the Lumberjacks are going to make waves when they're going to cook. But yeah, we'll move on to Premier because we are knocking at the door of our time limit here. But
let's just glance at this.
Premier.
Our storylines are going to hit Premier really hard.
I agree. So. Yes. So looking at this, here's your Premier standings so far. Sorry, I'm not all the way over. I technically am now, but regardless. Yeah. 3-0, the Fargo Steelhawks. I'm telling you guys, everybody doubted me. I said it when we made our picks. I said Mankato is the best team in the league on hours. They're 3-0. Ambrosia, Fishy, and Fuego. I said they're the best team in the league when they're not frauds, bro. They're not frauds. I'm telling you, when they're on hours, they're unbeatable. They're 3-0. They're 3-0. They're cooking.
Fuego decided he wanted to play the game.
Fuego decided he wanted to play the game again. I'm kidding. Beat 2
you
teams
know what?
with subs. So
Stewie,
what? So what? They
this
still
Saturday,
win. This
Saturday at 3:45 p.m., the fine folks can see these 2 Premier teams.
I want to see Ambrosia. I want to see Ambrosia and Fuego on cams cooking. That's what I want to see. Fuego, you make it happen, my guy. You make it happen. Yeah, no, you're gonna see these fine gentlemen on in our second match, 3:45 against the Steelhawks. So the you guys do not want to miss that. I can show that schedule later on, but
somebody's getting a loss this week.
Somebody's getting a loss this week. You still played better than you. Oh man. Oh, woo. Throwing out the hot takes, but regardless, quick. Mankato and Fargo play each other at 3:45 on stream on Saturday. Do not miss that. It's going to be an absolute blast. 4-4-0, one of these teams, but St. Cloud at 2-1 doesn't really surprise me with who's on that roster. Vogs, Trash, and Bubbly Reaper, 3 players who are very easy to play with, I would say, and they're very fast. So Duluth at 2-0 as well. I think they have a match that they see. That's the thing, guys. With double headers, there's going to be a little bit of weird win losses here because not every team has played the same amount of games because not every team has had a double header every single week. So keep that in mind. Brainerd, of course, only having 3 games, and Duluth only having 2. But Duluth 2-0. Good to see. Forrest, Crispy, and Bryant, they look very good. Bloomington at 2-1. Comet, Zodak, and Wesley, they look very good. Des Moines at 1-1. Des Moines? Des Moines is cooking this season. They look very, very good.
They got time.
Mogi,
they got space.
Mogi, when they have time and space, Mogi is one of the best players in the league, but teams I think have keyed in on that.
They play you guys this week.
Yeah, they play us this week. So we're right behind them. So we're looking to take that, but we're 1-2. I've been having a decent season. A decent season. Leading the league in goals per game.
Yeah, tearing it up.
Leading the league in shot percentage per game.
There's plenty of season to go here. It is still early, but I think that people are getting a little nervous.
Rachel's at their deserved spot. Okay, I mean, fair enough.
I'd agree.
I think if they create more space for themselves, they'll be in a very good spot. But Rochester 1-1 is a big surprise to me with who they have on their roster. Volt, Remzik, and Pixel. You have 2 very good defensive players in Volt and Remzik. I think everyone's question for that Rochester team is who is going to be the offensive takeover player. We've seen it in the past with Volt where he's a very good shooter. He's very good on taking shots, but who is going to be the player that is going to create those shots for him?
I mean, Volt can just kind of be that. Volt's the all-around player.
Agreed.
But in every other team, he's had a very strong first man that he can kind of play around. So
agreed. I mean, Caden didn't have Caden anymore,
right?
And he had Caden. He had Caden in season 6. He had Caden in season 7, and season 5 he had Ao and Ao and Perg on his team.
And a lot of time to cook. That last match that they had on stream, he was loving it. They were feeling it. They looked good.
So,
but yeah, that was all right.
That was a fairly
spoiler
interesting.
Alert. I was getting there. They were reverse swept. But yeah.
They did the reverse sweeping. I want it.
Stewie. We gotta.
My fault, G. Hey, we're frying. We're cooking. CRL team is 1-2. 9th place. We'll get to that in a second. Chicago Jungle is in 10th, 0-2. And the big surprise for me is Green Bay 0-3, and St. Paul is 0-3 as well.
Yep.
I think you rated the Green Bay Knights pretty low, though.
I don't even want to talk about it. I put them as the only S tier team in Premier, and boy, I'm wrong. But, come on, Messiah.
All right, we are. Remember the stuff. We are going to jump into the next segment. Of course, which is my storylines. Only 2 storylines. Keep it short and sweet and simple. We just talked about things, and we're gonna move on into, of course, this first storyline, and that quick, of course, being this: a smoking hot start. The Fargo Steelhawks, as a franchise, if you look at the stats, are currently number 1 in total. This is total points per team. They lead the league out of everyone. They are 8-1 in matches. They have lost as a franchise, not one team. This is their whole franchise. They are 8-1. They have won 8 total series and have lost 1, which is unreal to me. They're in first in Premier and Challenger, and in 4th in Rising Star. So they have been cooking.
Man, yeah. When we talked about this prior in my preseason predictions, I put them at the bottom of A tier.
Gotta give him a pep talk, Hams.
Yeah, no, Azel was my question mark on this team going into it, just because I felt like last season I was looking for more out of him on the Atlas, I believe it was. So this season we're getting it. Putting Azel with Vanish was a terrible mistake for this whole entire league. I mean, those two guys are absolutely tearing it up. And having Taro as a sub
is the best thing you could possibly have.
Having Taro in Challenger is absolutely ridiculous, but he has the best match win record in the league because he has played 4 matches due to playing in Premier, and he's won
every single one. They're going to be very good. I got a chance to sub in for a scrim with that Challenger team. Very, very good team, but yeah. We're going to move on to our second and final storyline because Quick is going to kill me if we don't. Championship struggles. I'm sorry, we highlight Bemidji so much on these storylines, and it's difficult because like it's hard to be mean to. It's hard to be nice and it's hard to be mean to them at the same time. But the Lumberjacks as Season 7 champions in Rising Star and Challenger are. I mean, they're struggling in Premier as well.
Hard.
They're 15th in Challenger. They are in 10th in Rising Star. Also in Premier, they are in 9th. So
they have 1 series win as a franchise.
Yeah.
It's just so rough.
You're champs in Premier. I apologize. Regardless.
Yeah.
Champs in Premier and Rising Star last season. This season, it doesn't look likely to go for a back-to-back. I mean, they did just add Calster in Challenger, so
I can see momentum there. Calster's a leader who I think can kind of take that squad and do what he wants with it, especially Kazi was putting in a lot of work. She really surprised me over the first couple of streams. Obviously, they're missing her last week, and that was another reverse
they have
sweep
2, yes.
for them. So just kind of rough. I put Premier originally at the top of C tier, and people in chat were not too happy with that decision. But I kind of think they're showing what I was concerned about with the picks that Fusion made, just kind of being odd and out of order. I mean, taking Catamac first was kind of surprising, and Sean, your college teammates, but it just hasn't been converting.
I mean, Wesley saying Quick that they took a game off of Fargo. To be honest, I don't care. I don't. You only took 1 game. Yeah. If you were really going to be a team that is contending for a title, like Perg said, we lost our first 3 games in Premier last season. Yeah, that makes sense. But
last season
we had also
format.
It's a different, completely different format.
Went to the lower bracket for Premier LAN. You guys lost, and then you just stomped completely through the lower bracket. The only concern that Burnsville had last season was that Bemidji would go to the lower bracket, and of course,
and it happened. Exactly.
It happened, and you guys just stomped throughout the. Rochester was in peak performance last season. Vanished with that overtime goal to push them to the finals. I mean, we were seeing it from that squad, and here's
the difference, though, guys. We are saying they're having a slow start. Here's the difference. They're in Premier. Here's the difference. They are a college team that is put together. What roster move are you going to make to make that team better? That's in salary, and also this would break up your college team. So this wouldn't turn into just practice. Now it's going to turn into a completely different. I mean, you're going to be playing matches with a different team. So
potentially, yeah.
Do you build around Fusion Bleach, or do you completely drop the whole roster? Which I don't see doing. They have a win, and they beat us. So I don't see that happening. But again, you have to think about what you are going to change. If you, I guess they didn't make any changes last season and they had a slow start, but Wesley's saying season 6 Burnsville had a slow start. They did, but they had a completely different roster at the beginning.
Wow.
You guys added, you flipped one player, but the one player was the most important player.
Well, let's take a look at how his last season went. Anyway,
this season, I guess, but
Bemidji, I don't think they have to worry about salary cap. They're 217 under what cap is. So if they could make a change, there is that possibility. But I think the gusto that they had will last longer than what the trade window is. I think that team has a longer candle, and if it burns out, the bottom of it is.
Midas was the number 1 overall pick in season 6.
Back to back. He's been back-to-back overall picks.
Oh, season 7 was he?
No, not 7. 5 and 6. Midas was number 1 picks, I believe. Midas was back-to-back. Oh, well, number 1 overall, or am I thinking draft round? I might be wrong here. Midas was, I believe, back-to-back number 1 picks, but one of them was when Calster picked up him and Mamba in that roster, or fusion, whatever. One of the rosters just didn't work out. There was a lot of stuff, but
5 was not Midas. 5 was was it Zebra?
Overall, yeah, but I'm pretty sure Midas
was not the number 1 pick in season 5. Season 6, he was the number 1 pick. Season 5 was Zebra. Yeah, Fuego is correct. So that's the difference for me. Is this season, if you're going to make a change in, now we're talking about Bemidji's premier team. If you're going to make a change for that, you're not going to get a number 1 overall pick unless that roster completely falls apart.
New sign-up, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of that,
I mean, you're looking at the free agents list right now. You've got a player like Timmy on it, Marty's on it, Jives is on it. Mexi signed up.
Quite the man. Timmy is really going to make this first trade window interesting.
Yeah.
I think any team that's not feeling confident is going to.
Yeah. Yeah, I know about that player, Wesley. He contacted me about it, and I said that he'd have to talk to Fusion Bleach and then talk to somebody else to see if he could get admitted in, but he is outside of eligible states, so no idea why Mamba's on the free agents list. I'm pretty sure he dropped to retirement.
He retired.
Yeah.
Is it checked next to his name? I think it's still.
I can't really. It doesn't say on the free agents list, but
yeah. Ping Riker. Everybody ping Riker.
There's a lot of. There's a lot of. I don't know if he got in. I don't know if he got the boot or anything, but.
No, he elected to retire for the season, so no, he shouldn't be able. Dude, Torva's on this list.
Don't ping. But they know. They know. I figured they know. But yeah, we've kind of been on this for a while, but
yep.
Rising star for Bemidji is Bob the Huge Man, Black Belt, and Track Zone. Now, they started off the season with a win on stream that was very good. I thought it was a very, very well-played game. They all looked great. Now that I kind of see the results and the standings, they're sitting in fifth. They're sitting in 10th, 1 and 2. They could easily move up. I think they could do better, but Challenger overall in 15th, 0 and 3. Again, you bring in Calster, maybe he makes a massive difference. I think Calster will. I think personally think Cal's going to make a big difference in that team, but how much of a difference is he going to make? Is he going to be able to do enough to push them out of an 0 and 3 hole?
He has to do much. I think that squad has a lot of potential just off the gate. I really think they need a player that's willing to fill in the slots, put in the time to combine the team. Mamba's kind of a player who you build your team around, not who you expect Mamba to build. So I really think that with Calster there, if he's willing to put the time in with that squad, that they have
and Cal said he would be going to Premier too if a Premier team wants him.
There it is. Yeah.
And remember, guys, we only have one trade window, and if you need the date on it, it opens on the 22nd, so it is in 4 days.
Oh, man.
October 22nd, so it's in 4 days. So
that's so quick.
That is so quick.
Just started. Oh my gosh.
It opens on October 22nd and it closes November 11th. So,
man,
guys, if you're looking to make a change, now is the time. You do not want to wait. It is going to be the craziest 2 weeks we have ever seen. I've seen full teams dropped before. I think I've talked about this before. I've seen full teams dropped. I've seen whole teams picked up. Honestly, yeah. I don't think it's too early. I think it's, how do I phrase this right? Justifiable if you absolutely need to make a change.
Yeah, this is nice for players who want draft to be very important. This is a draft style league, and that's
the Brainerd
like
transaction. Yeah, I'll never forget that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting season. We haven't had a season quite like this, so I think it's gonna be a learning experience. But I think that this is the time to do it, where we have a condensed season with a LAN that comes up quicker than previous seasons, just to give it a test run, see how it feels, and then come season 9, the crash test will be done.
The Brainerd transaction from last season. Oh my god.
Where
they dropped their whole Premier team.
2 teams?
Yeah, they dropped their whole Premier team. They dropped their whole Challenger team, picked up brand new players. It was absolutely insane. Regardless,
yeah, they completely
looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a long enough. Bubbly's right. It's a long enough window to where it won't matter too much, but it will make a difference in the final standings. We know that. But
it always does.
Yeah. Looking at the teams quick that need to make a change for. I guess you can highlight Rising Star if you want to, or Challenger even. I'm going to highlight Premier. The teams that I think, I'm going to throw this out there that need to make a change. The 2 0-3 teams. I think Green Bay's had a really tough schedule to start. I don't think that they are an 0-3 team. If you look at the schedule and who they have played some very good teams. I mean, they played Duluth, who they lost to. They played Bloomington, who they lost to, and they played us, who they lost to. So, saying that they are 0-3 is tough to say that they need to make a roster change, but never know. St. Paul, who is 0-3 as well, quick. I think they need to make a roster change. I'm sorry to Midas, Mystic, and Pace. I just think that they don't have. There's not we don't have season 6 Midas. Yeah, we don't have season 6 Midas. I just don't think there's a roster or a player on that roster that is a justifiable superstar. I think Mystic is a first round player, but he's a role player to me. He doesn't bring that offensive power that this team needs. So other than that, St. Paul, has had a hard schedule. You can't put that against them, but Chicago being 0-2 is a little bit surprising to me.
Plenty of season to go here. 2 games. That's been it. I think it's still early. Honestly, I think that Challenger is a little bit more interesting than what Premier is looking like, just because the bottom teams, you got Chicago all the way at the bottom, but those guys could pop off whenever they feel like.
And their Rising Star team is doing well, too.
Doing well, yeah.
They
have a solid sub. We could absolutely see shifts. Bemidji, a team that just made a move that I think will work out solid for him. I don't know if they even have to make a move. They could figure it out.
They need to figure out how to play together. Yeah.
The next 3 teams are super solid, and it's surprising to see these guys down here. I mean, on Duluth, you have Burf, 40, and Rainy Nut. They've only played 3 games. Those guys could figure it out whenever. Going back to the Mankato Atlas, Bomber, DeCarlo Berry, another just super solid team with a lot of power on it.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Green Bay's squad, just super solid players. Ledge and Pink together feels really deadly, but it's early. I feel like the end of every single transaction window is usually the most hype. I'm curious if the start of this transaction window is going to be the most hype, especially with the restricted free agent list that we have with just not a lot of players.
Well, with the people who are on it, I just think that like you
for this
have
top level of players that you're swapping out.
You've got some really good names on this free agents list. Players who have done well in previous seasons. I think that honestly, you need to consider trying out some players, but
there's time to do it.
There's plenty of time to do it.
Timmy is going to be busy over the next couple of weeks. Let me tell you.
Mamba's not. Marty is. Jives is as well.
Marty is going to be
Marty
super
is going to be very busy.
Oh man, if he doesn't get picked up,
I hope
riots in the streets.
I hope he gets picked up, but yeah.
You got any closing thoughts for us, Stewie? I think
we highlighted just about everything.
This first half of the season.
Marty will not be busy. Marty got his team to LAN, and arguably he played the best on LAN, Wesley. So saying that Marty will not be busy is complete cap.
66% of that team didn't get banned this season, so they definitely have time.
Maybe will, but Cal just got picked up on a team, so. Maybe. But saying that Marty will not be busy is surprising because Marty, again, had a very good last season. They finished number 1 in points. And also, he arguably, like I said, was the best player on his team on LAN. So, to see him not get a spot is kind of interesting, but you could see a player like Jives even maybe get an opportunity, or I don't know. We'll see. But quick. That's all I got.
Agreed.
Thank you guys for joining us. For joining us for this for overtime, the surprise overtime. Quick and I just kind of threw it together and it worked out very well. Our next overtime, we're probably going to decide the date here soon, but we're trying to get you guys as many overtimes as possible. I know that you all wanted these because they're fun streams to put together. We love making them. So we'll see you soon for another overtime. Maybe some more immaculate grids. I know that was a good part of that. So we'll definitely
throw it out there, Stewie.
Look to do more, but.
If any of you guys in chat are interested in coming and doing this, hit us up.
Exactly.
Let us know. Yeah, we definitely are looking for some guys to talk with about how.
Indeed. We have the capability, quick, of doing 3 cams on screen, 4 cams on screen as well. So, if you want to, exactly, if you want to join us for overtime, in the coming weeks, maybe in the coming month, we'll see. But our next overtime date still subject. Maybe we'll do another surprise
2
one.
weeks.
I don't know. 2 weeks is what we're looking at.
Every 2 weeks.
But thanks guys for joining us, and of course we're gonna say goodbye for the night. We'll see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Normal Central Standard Time for Rising Star, and should be a blast.